Hello, welcome to the webinar today. Today we are going to do another question and answer webinar about English pronunciation and fluency. I did the webinar last month on Pronunciation Pro was a Q&A session just like this, and it went very well. Our students seem to like this format, so we'll do it often enough to make sure that we get through a lot of these frequently asked questions. And the great thing is that the recordings for these webinars are on our site for members. So you get a chance to, there's a video bank, I guess, of all of the webinars that we've had so far. And so you can view those and learn more about pronunciation and fluency. All right, so let's go ahead and get started today. The format that we have here and for all of our members is that I go ahead and I have a few questions that are frequently asked questions from students, and I go through those questions first, and then I open it up for questions for you. So go ahead and write down questions in the questions box if you have them as we go along, and then at the end we will open it up. The first thing I want to talk about, just introduce myself. My name is Annie Rudin, and I am a licensed speech pathologist, speech language pathologist. And what this means, and I guess going through my credentials there, I have a master's of science in speech language pathology, and then I have the C's stand for Certificate of Clinical Competence, and that is from the American Speech Language Hearing Association. So this is the national organization for speech language pathologists. And basically, being a speech pathologist, what that means for you is that I'm highly trained in phonetics and American English pronunciation, language, phonology, all of these areas that are very specific to accent reduction have a very in-depth background that helps me better understand how to teach and train you to speak an American accent. So basically my previous experience, when I got out of school, I right away got into accent reduction training, and for several years worked with individuals from corporations and did accent training there. And then in the last year or two, in the last 2 years, I've been developing this online program, Pronunciation Pro, and putting it into video form. All the lessons that I would use with my corporate clients, I decided to put them into video format so that we could offer them to a bigger audience for a lower price. Because my corporate clients, they were paying $1,500 to, upwards of $3,000-$4,000 for training, for the same kind of training. And I wanted to make sure that the quality training that they were receiving, that others could have access to it. So we created this video course, and I'll be talking about it a little bit later, but there's different levels that you can have within the Pronunciation Pro training program. And at the basic level, you have the video trainings, and then you can also get very personalized one-on-one training via video conference, some live trainings with me online. So this is very helpful if you want a very personalized training, but we have a variety of courses for you. And I think most of the people, all the people on this call today are members and have at least that basic monthly membership. So you're going through this program, and one thing about that basic membership, well, all of our memberships, but especially that basic one, is there's not the one-on-one training, you don't have the one-on-one training that the other packages do, but you do have these webinars. And if you show up and attend these webinars frequently, then you should have a chance to really get your questions answered and get some personalized feedback. We do these webinars once a month for our members, and that the number of webinars we do per month will most likely increase in the next few months. So we have more of a chance to connect with our members here. So let's go ahead and jump right into some frequently asked questions here at Pronunciation Pro. So one thing I want to talk about in more detail is what is a syllable? A syllable. And this usually is a new term for a lot of our students. And it comes up in week 3 when you get into word stress. Word stress is stressing specific syllables in words, in English words. So putting that emphasis or stress on a certain syllable. So obviously, in order to understand which syllable to stress in English words, you have to understand what a syllable is. This is something that native English speakers learn in elementary school. They learn techniques of clapping out syllables and identifying these different segments. But basically, a syllable is a part of a word that has one vowel sound and sometimes one or more consonant around it. So the important part about this is a syllable is how we break apart words. It's the way we segment words. And every syllable or every word in English has one or more syllables. And a syllable is made up of one vowel sound. Now, it's not one vowel letter, it's one vowel sound, and that's important because for instance, the word seat, have a seat, or I'm sitting on a seat. S-E-A-T has two vowel sounds, or two vowel letters, but one vowel sound, E, that long E. So one vowel sound per syllable. And basically, the combination of stressed and unstressed syllables is what creates the rhythm of English. So that's a very important concept, and I repeat it a lot during the video training program because that's an important thing to understand about the American accent. It's the play between stressed and unstressed syllables that creates this rhythm. All right, so syllables. Let's practice how to break apart syllables. So some examples of one syllable words. Now think again, that one vowel sound. We're looking for one vowel sound in here. So these are one syllable words. Work, day, go. Oh gosh, my screen doesn't show the right half of it because of the control panel with the webinar. So I might not be able to read the right side of my screen here. But work, day, go. These are all one syllable words. Now let's get into two syllable words. Again, one vowel sound per syllable. Again, again. Enter, enter. So that's how we break it apart. Enter, danger, meeting. Okay, one vowel sound per syllable. Three syllable words. Advertise, advertise. And in elementary school, native English speakers in elementary school, they learn to clap out the syllables. So advertise, advertise, envelope, estimate. Okay, so we learn kind of this rhythm. There's kind of a beat to it that we can break apart syllables. Four syllable words. Helicopter, crocodile. Okay, those are all four syllable words. So there's four parts to that word, or 4 syllables to that word. And then 5-syllable words: congratulations, insignificant, satisfactory. Okay, so the important part about learning syllables has to do with word stress. So in a 5-syllable word, there's going to be one syllable that's going to be stressed more than the rest, have that stress pattern. So insignificant, insignificant. So first syllable stress on that word. And as you go through the program, I talk about first syllable stress, third syllable stress. So it's important to know how to break apart a word and know which syllable I'm talking about when I talk about, okay, it's second syllable stress in this word. So for example, advertise has first syllable stress because I stress that first part of the word. Advertise, estimate, crocodile, congratulations. So that's fourth syllable stress in congratulations. Okay, so that's understanding syllables really helps you understand word stress. Now, a piece of word stress that I really want to go over today is reduced syllables. Okay, so in word stress, we have one syllable that is stressed more than the others. Okay, this is the stressed syllable. So what about the other syllables? What about the other parts of the word? Well, they get a reduced pronunciation. And with reduced pronunciation, with the reduced part of the word, an unstressed syllable, so we have the stressed and the unstressed that create the rhythm, right? So with the unstressed syllable, an unstressed syllable that changes or is left out. So a reduced syllable, when we talk about reduced syllable, it's when we change that unstressed syllable or we leave out that unstressed syllable. So let me give you some examples here. So here's some examples of how we change some of these unstressed syllables, how we change them, and we meaning native English speakers. So for. So the full pronunciation is for, okay? Or, okay? But in a sentence, we usually reduce this word, the pronunciation of this word. So he's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. Do you hear how I'm saying fur instead of for? He's waiting for you. And this has to, in this context, we're talking a lot about more sentence stress, specific words in sentences that are being stressed, and then having unstressed words in sentences. And that's in week 4. You learn more about sentence stress. So that will be more, if you're not to week 4 in the program, that will make more sense to you at that point. So he's waiting for you. So just be listening for that for when native English speakers say it. Most likely they're going to say fur in a sentence, fur. Another example of this is to. The full pronunciation is to, but when we put it into sentences, typically, a lot of times, if it's an unstressed syllable or unstressed word in a sentence, then it gets a reduced reduced pronunciation. So I'm going to the meeting, to. I'm going to the meeting. I'm going to the meeting, to. Do you hear that, to? That's an example of how an unstressed syllable or word in a sentence changes. And this just has to do with the way that English, the flow of English, and making English sound more fluent. So as you're going through, we talk about, this program addresses English pronunciation and fluency, how to sound like an American with that American accent. And there are a lot of these syllable reductions that really create that fluency. And another example is and. So the full pronunciation is and, but if you put it into a sentence where and is a unstressed syllable or unstressed word in a sentence, we get this kind of pronunciation. Get out your paper and pencil. Paper and pencil. Do you see how it reduces to more of an just N? Get out your paper and pencil. And get out your paper and pencil. Paper and pencil. So when I slow down, my mouth is wanting to do the full pronunciation, but really in connected speech, that and becomes So listen for that as you're listening to native speakers and practice it yourself. See if you can get that reduced pronunciation like in these sentences. All right, so talking about reduced syllables, I talked about how the sound can change or it can be left out or deleted. So that unstressed syllable can be left out in these reductions, what we call reductions. Okay, so examples of this, here are some very common words in English that get this reduced pronunciation. So reductions in English, if there's going to be a syllable that is reduced or taken out, it will be a 3 or more syllable word. So you're not going to have a 2-syllable word that gets reduced to a 1-syllable word. It'll most likely be a 3 or more syllable word, so longer words that get reduced or 1 syllable is taken out. So examples of this is the word Wednesday. Wednesday. So Wednesday really is how it should be pronounced, Wednesday, with 3 syllables, but native English speakers reduce it to Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. Another example, temperature, temperature. We don't say temperature, temperature. We say temperature, temperature. And here I've bolded the stressed syllable. So both of these words are first syllable stress. Temperature, temperature. So I want you to be trying this along with me. Temperature. Another example, restaurant, restaurant. It's not restaurant, 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 restaurant. First syllable stress on that. How about this word? Evening, evening, evening. Not evening, evening, evening. So even though it's a 3-syllable word, it gets only 2, it's pronounced with only 2 syllables. Evening. And then how about this one? Every, every. Not every, every, but every, every. Okay, good. Let's do some more because these are very common words in English. So really practicing these specific words will be very helpful for you as you are speaking so that you can get that native pronunciation in a lot of these words. Basically, not basically, but basically. Basically. This one, vegetable, vegetable, vegetable. Now this one's interesting because it has more of that ch sound in it, even though it has a G, vegetable. So that's an interesting pronunciation for that one. Not vegetable, vegetable. We don't want to do that. We want to do vegetable, vegetable. Interesting, interesting. First syllable stress there. Interesting, interesting. Not interesting, interesting, but interesting, interesting. And when you pronounce words with these commonly reduced words, when you pronounce them as like interesting, it's a dead giveaway that you are not from the US. So assimilating to American English and the accent, this is a big part of that. Different, different, not different, different, but different, different. And average, average, not average, but average. Okay, so practice these. Write them down, practice the pronunciation over and over again, and see if you can, whoa, where in the world? There we go. See if you can get the pronunciation of this. Okay, another question, and this is jumping into more of the specific Pronunciation Pro course versus just English pronunciation and fluency in general. So one thing that we offer at Pronunciation Pro is an accent assessment. An accent assessment. And what this is you know, you have the course to register for the Pronunciation Pro course. You sign up for a membership, and in addition to that membership, you can do an accent assessment. Our Plus and Premier packages include an accent assessment as part of the package. So if you have a basic membership, you might want to think about doing this accent assessment in addition to your basic membership. And the accent assessment is $98. And what this does, and it's a great supplement to the video training program, because it gives you a full workup of your own speech patterns, what you're doing wrong in English pronunciation and fluency, and what you need to pay special attention to as you go through the course. So what happens is when you purchase the accent assessment, you'll get access to the assessment on your account. So when you log into Pronunciation Pro, you get access to this assessment, and you can go through and record yourself doing the assessment. You read words, put those words into sentences, read a paragraph, and then talk about some given topics spontaneously. Do a kind of spontaneous speech sample for me, which is reflective of more of a conversation, like if we're having a conversation and you were telling me about yourself. So this is all recorded and sent to me, and I have a chance to sit down and analyze it. Listen to your speech patterns, see what sounds you're saying incorrectly, and seeing what you're doing that's different than an American accent. And then based on this assessment, you can take this assessment and go ahead and go through the course, the Pronunciation Pro video course, and you can be more aware of what you need to focus on and where you need to put some extra practice in. So not all of the videos on the Pronunciation Pro course, you probably won't have to work on all of them. So the accent assessment tells you which videos are very specific to you. So this is just one page. This graphic here on the page is just one page of the assessment that I give. It's usually about 4 pages long when I give you the full report. So it's a great resource for you, and to get a full understanding of what your accent is like. All right, so let's talk about the 12-week course. And for those who are in the course right now, you're probably getting a feel for this, but basically weeks 1 through 6 of the course, you're developing new skills. So you're getting introduced to English sounds, the most difficult English sounds, and being instructed on very specifically on how to move your mouth, what the airflow needs to be like, how to put those in words and sentences correctly. And then you're also being introduced to the rules of the rhythm of English and practicing those, such as word stress, like we talked about earlier, sentence stress, intonation, linking and pausing, rate of speech. All of these things are the skills that you are learning about and developing. For the first 6 weeks, you're really being introduced to quite a few new concepts and ideas about the sounds and rhythm of English. And then when we get into weeks 7 through 12, it's all about practicing those skills. So the important part about English pronunciation is that it's not enough just to learn the rules. It's not enough to just be exposed to it once. We don't expect you to completely understand the rules of pronunciation and the sounds of English pronunciation the first time you hear it. It's about repetition and practice. And so for weeks 7 through 12, we go through different exercises, such as reading a speech that was given by someone famous, and then there's one assignment where you have to give a presentation, submit a presentation to me for feedback. And there's conversational practice in there. So a variety of ways for you to incorporate all these new skills into your speech. All right, so a common question I get is, how should I practice? How should I practice during this course? So the first is to watch the weekly videos. During the videos within this course give you a lot of opportunity to practice with the videos. So it's a kind of a listen and repeat system. Each video has a kind of a quiz at the beginning to help you train your ear to hear the difference between different English sounds. So that's a part of it. And then you practice saying them using the instruction that I give. So watching the videos and not just watching them, but interacting with them. So being in a place where you can repeat after me and get that repetition. It's not just about understanding. This is a muscle movement that we're practicing. It's just like watching, if you were to watch a video about how to play the piano. Well, it's not going to do you any good unless you have a piano in front of you and you practice with your fingers. Same thing goes with this instruction. You have to practice with your mouth and say them out loud. So the second, after you've watched the videos and practiced along with me in the videos, then I want you to download the worksheets and practice reading those worksheets out loud. So getting that repetition by saying them out loud with the worksheets. Now, for the Plus and Premier packages, especially for the Plus package, the assignments that I give each week for the Plus members, once you've submitted the assignment and then I've given you feedback on your assignment, you can take the notes that I give from that assignment and practice it out loud. So that's a great way, because I have underlined and I've made notes on this assignment to let you know what you specifically said incorrectly. And so you have a chance to practice with a very specific sounds that you were doing incorrectly with that feedback from me. Next, reading out loud. So after you've worked through the worksheets and you feel pretty comfortable with those worksheets, then I want you to choose something that you read anyway during the day. Maybe it's newspapers or children's books. Maybe you read to your children at night, or finding speeches to read, such as TED Talks. I highly recommend TED Talks. They are, you can Google TED Talks and find transcripts of famous, of people giving speeches. And speeches are unique because it's written to be said out loud. So it has a more natural flow to it than, say, does a newspaper article. So in these, you can, another way to practice, you can read them out loud. Also make notes on whatever you're reading. So underlining areas that you know you're weak in. So like say if you have a problem pronouncing the English TH sound, underline that TH sound every time you come across it in that speech, and then read it out loud. And then eventually start practicing specific skills during conversation. There's a lot to, as you're going through this course, identify, an area that you are doing incorrectly, maybe a sound you're saying incorrectly, and that you're practicing during this course. Again, the TH sound is a very common one. And just identify a time that you're speaking with somebody and think, okay, I'm going to practice using that TH sound while I'm speaking to this person. Don't try and do it all at once. Conversation is the highest level that you'll get to. It's easier to read something than in English with good pronunciation than it is to have that same good pronunciation during conversation. So that's kind of the highest level that we get to in the course. So don't expect yourself to say the sounds absolutely correctly in conversation from the beginning. You'll work your way up to that. All right, so another question that I get is, what are your recommendations for the program? How do you make the most out of the Pronunciation Pro course? So the goal for this course was to provide a quality training at an affordable price. And so what we have is kind of I want to go over kind of from lowest to highest packages and help you understand what you can do with those. So the lowest price package we have is the basic membership. This is $19.97 a month. And what this offers is the whole 12-week video course given week by week. So you get access to a week at a time through the 12 weeks. And with this membership, you get access to these monthly webinars. And we actually might be doing it in the next few months. We'll be increasing that to twice a month. So attending these webinars and getting your questions answered and getting some extra help as you're going through it is wonderful. I also am available by email if you have questions about what you're learning and would like some clarification on something. So, and I'll provide my email here at the end, but it's just Annie@pronunciationpro.com. So if you have questions, you can email me, and if you and these webinars are excellent ways for you to really get the most out of the program at that basic membership level. And then from there, I recommend going, if you have the basic membership and you're thinking, okay, well, I want a little bit more personalization and feedback, then like I was saying before, go for that full accent assessment. So that accent assessment is $98. It's just a one-time fee. And I will give you a full report outlining all your your accent and how it differs from an American accent. Then the next step up is the Plus package, and this is actually my favorite package because it allows me to work one-on-one with you. And what we have here is I do the assessment, so I do the full assessment at the beginning, and then as you're going through the video course, you get access to these weekly assignments. So after you go through your videos, then you get an assignment page and you submit your assignment, which is a recording of you speaking. And I listen to that and I make notes on a PDF file and underline areas that you might have missed. And then I give an audio feedback. So I record myself speaking and giving you feedback on that assignment. So you can hear from me what it's supposed to sound like. A lot of times I give examples of what you did versus what it should be. And I give you very personalized training with this. The only difference is it's not live. So you get personalized feedback through the whole 12-week course, which is just fantastic. And I've seen my students make such progress through this package at an affordable price. And something that we are doing now is that we can split this payment up into 3 months or 3 to 6 months. So so I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then the highest package we have is the Premier package. This is for those who just want me to be there live, get that live personalized feedback every week during the 12-week program. So you get the assessment, you get all of the feedback, the recorded feedback that I mentioned in the Plus package, plus you get 12 live online lessons with me. So we identify a time during the week that works best for you, and we meet together and we work together through all of the lessons, and basically you get a lot of practice and you get a lot of feedback during that. And with the Plus package, you get a 1-year membership. So instead of doing the monthly membership like the basic package, you get a full year membership with that. And then, like I said before, both the Plus and the Premier packages can be broken up into payments. So if you want it to be broken up to 3 payments, then you can contact me and we can set that up. And if you want it in 6-month payments, payments stretched out over 6 months, we have a PayPal Bill Me Later option. When you check out and you choose PayPal, you can ask to have the Bill Me Later. Is it Bill Me Later? Anyway, just it allows you to stretch that payment out into over 6 months. So that's a great option to spread out that payment, because I know that sometimes that's a lot of money to put up right all at once. And the goal here is to really get as many people going in this program as possible, so we can help as many people develop that American accent as possible. All right, so I'm going to open this up for questions for anyone. So go ahead if you have any questions. I'll go through the questions that are written there, and then we'll answer other questions. For those of you who don't want us to stick around for the Q&A, just want to thank you for attending. And if you have any questions, please contact me. There's my email address, and I look forward to hearing from you. And go ahead and stick around if you have any questions. Thank you.